Welcome to Golden Mastermind Seminars Radio with your host, Jeffery Combs.
Jeffery Combs, good afternoon. Facebook Live, and if you're here with me on Facebook Live today, right after Facebook Live, I will move over to Instagram Live, and I am wearing my favorite color, powder blue and gold. So if you're here with me on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon, in the year of our Lord, someone asked me what that means, year of our Lord. It's a Christian term. So I did look it up, I forgot, but I do remember the reference. So it is June 16th, 2026, free enterprise skills in challenging times. So good to be here with you on a beautiful Central California afternoon on a breathe, release, and let go day. So for anxiety, fear, and doubt, the thief of dreams. And so if you find yourself in anxiety, fear, or doubt, frequently there's a high probability that you are an addicted procrastinator, an avoider. You are getting ready to get ready, and you keep recreating the same situation to fulfill the same circumstances and these same feelings. I am a producer. I am the author of the highly inspiring book, The Procrastination Cure. I am not a procrastinator and an avoider. I've been teaching production skills and letting go skills for 28 years as a success and addiction coach. And if you're seeking one-on-one coaching or insight on why you do what you do, I can definitely assist you. And so for today's content, we're going to take a good look at the cause that creates the effect of why you do what you do, so that you are no longer the mind-body connection to the events that shape the feelings. So breathe, release, and let go. I'm going to let the call populate here, and I'm going to move into the crush content. So anxiety, fear, and doubt is a byproduct of the events that shape your feelings. So if you grow up in an alcoholic household, if you grow up with a narcissistic parent, if you have a parent that's a tyrant, or a brother or sister that singles you out, or on your way to the school, you are singled out and traumatized, or you're hazed, or you're ridiculed, or you're made fun of, or you're considered a slow learner, and you have ADD, ADHD. This is what they tell you. This is what the Rockefeller Foundation teaches you. They tell you you have these 3-letter symptoms, and then you get held back in a class. This can definitely affect your self-esteem. So your self-esteem is how you feel about yourself. And so if you have very low self-esteem, you will be in grief, apathy, guilt, and shame. That's the rock bottom of the map of the scale of consciousness. And when you continue to recreate the same situation to fulfill the same circumstances and same feelings, then what happens is you become addicted to a set of emotions. And when you hold on to these feelings, then you just keep recreating them. It becomes reciprocal. You just keep recreating them over and over to fulfill the neurochemical craving that keeps you disappointed. And this becomes an epidemic for the world. This is how most of society lives. Then they live in this overwhelmed state where they end up chronically debting, overeating, binging, drugs, alcohol, a multitude of situations that allows you to keep recreating the same feelings and circumstances that creates the payoff disappointment. It becomes exhausting for most of society, especially when you're carrying a lot of weight and a lot of debt, because you're going to worry about both of those. Danielle, good to see you this afternoon. It's an honor to be here on Facebook Live with you. My topic today is challenging times. So it's called Free Enterprise Skills in Challenging Times. So the skills that you require to master as a business owner, a businesswoman, a businessman in free enterprise is the ability to articulate your feelings, being able to communicate effectively without thinking, processing, analyzing, and worrying about the outcome that hasn't happened. And as you begin to develop your esteem, I'm lovable, I'm good enough, I'm capable. As you're beginning this process of letting go of all this trauma you went through, and you start to realize that I'm good enough. And when you're with other women and men that are succeeding, instead of being jealous or envious, look at them with respect and with gratitude, because if they're doing it, you can do it. I went through that process myself. I remember going to my early Herbalife events back in the day and saying, well, I'm happy for them. Well, that wasn't true. I was very envious and very jealous and I wanted to be on that stage. Well, I later learned that it wasn't being on the stage that was what I was seeking. I wanted to seek the freedom that the money could buy me. At least I thought that's what I was seeking in my early entrepreneurial career. And I was absolutely committed to living the good life. I was listening to Jim Rohn back in that era, and Jim Rohn used to ask, what constitutes the good life? And that's for us to determine. I know for me, I wanted to move out of a little apartment, and I had a beat up car. I was clean and sober a couple years, and I did not want to continue to trade time for dollars and be an employee. And so I joined the network marketing direct sales industry in the late 80s, just as I was getting clean and sober. I wasn't in a position to act on it yet, but I was incubating. And when I was ready in 1990, I crossed that bridge. I quit my job. I stayed in free enterprise for multiple years, learning the skills while failing in business. 4 businesses that I did not succeed in. Nutrition for Life. That business got affected by Kevin Trudeau, and the company changed, and that company went out of business. Herbalife, I followed my sponsor to her own company, another mistake that I ended up paying for, even though I became the number 1 income earner in that company. And then a series of companies that went out of business. So by the end of 1996, after 7 years in free enterprise, I was $100,000 in credit card debt, which is amazing because how did I even have 15 credit cards in 1996? I had the brick cell phone, the kind that Michael Douglas had in Wall Street, and I had a beeper, and I had a beat-up Honda, and I was paying rent on a cool little apartment. The apartment was decent, but I'd also been through a series of flop houses in Washington, D.C. I'd rented rooms. I'd lived at rock bottom, but I was clean and sober, and I was exercising daily. And I was practicing gratitude, but financially, I was not making it. So I was waiting tables, building a business, and had a sales job. If you've ever seen that truck, Sysco, Sysco, it's a food truck, I used to call it Psycho, because it felt like that because I worked for them for 2 years. I was a straight commission sales rep. I'd also been a commission sales rep selling yellow page advertising. I never had a real job. I had commission sales jobs and was building business for a number of years. My breakthrough year came after learning the skills of free enterprise. I had a woman ask me today, well, you built your business in the 90s and you started coaching in the 90s. What's different? Well, there's a lot that's different, but there's a lot that's the same. What is absolutely the same today is as you master the skill of sales, it's the exact same equation. Whether you sell a helicopter, an airplane, you're selling real estate, you're selling land, you're selling a concept, you're selling an idea, you're selling software, you're selling logistics, whatever you're selling, here's the common denominator, you and the prospect. And in that selling environment, what you are doing is you're establishing, is this a qualified buyer? Is this someone that qualifies for my time? Is this someone who can commit? Is this a pathological liar? Is this someone telling me what they think I want to hear? The objections, let me think about it. I don't have the money. I want to talk to my wife, my husband, the fireman, someone down the street, as broke as I am. I want to talk to a doctor. I want to talk to a dentist. This is third party. They want to talk to someone else. And then there's the person who wants to think about it. Or then there's the person who wants to do the research. And then there's the person that's just not interested. So somewhere in those objections, it's your responsibility to understand through your own articulation and your ability to hear what's meant, not said. It's responsible for you to understand, is this a qualified buyer? And this is a major skill in free enterprise. So whether you own a restaurant or whether you own a salon or whether you're in a network marketing direct sales business, you're looking for qualified buyers. People who see the value proposition. People who see that you have a product, service that they see valuable and they will purchase. But when you tell yourself there's nobody out there that's going to buy from me and you keep telling yourself this story and no one has any money and it's challenging times, well, you just set yourself up for disappointment. But as you begin to let go and separate your feelings from the events that shape them, and you focus on living on the solution, and you focus on people, and you focus on attracting to your reality quality, like-minded success seekers, the equation will change. When you start to let go of not being good enough, when you let go of being in your head, when you let go of how much time you think, process, analyze, avoid, procrastinate, so you can be disappointed. When you focus on learning the skills, the habits, and the mindset like I have. I became a tactician. I became a professional. I became exceptional. I became great at that conversation. Prospecting 101, closing 102. I mean, I became very, very skilled in that because that's the common denominator. And it's that common denominator that will allow you to break through and transcend to go from being just average to being exceptional. And when you see other men and women, like I coach these men and women, and I've been coaching them for 28 years, when you see other men and women that are having 6- and 7-figure income results, I mean, you can do that too. I coach a man right now. He had almost $100,000 a month as a private pilot. He walked away from a job, and in his second month on his own as an independent pilot, he landed one of the top technocrats in the world. Like a billionaire hired him for a month, and he made $86,000 in his second month. I mean, I have hundreds of stories like this, and I do mean 100 of stories like this, and this is called the power of belief. I coach a young man, 29 years old. I started coaching when he was 18. He just had a $400,000 month. This could be you. See, those numbers sound big, but they happen to me. They can happen to you. I'm from a town this big. Dorothy Wirt, who's on today's Facebook Live, Dorothy's known me since 2002. She's been with me for 24 years. I've known Dorothy. So she's seen many of my events. She's seen me on stages with many people. She's been to my home city. She's been to lots of, so she's seen me go through this. But I started where many people don't start, rock bottom. My start of free enterprise was 1 year in prison, then 30 days in a treatment center, and then after that, then selling yellow pages, starting with Herbalife, Amway. I mean, I went through these businesses early in my career. I met Tom Big Al Schreider. Michael, you know Tom Big Al Schreider? He was someone I used to follow in the 90s. I ended up going to one of his events, and I joined his company, Nutrition for Life. Tamara, good to see you, and thank you for calling in here from Canada this afternoon. The topic for today's Facebook Live is free enterprise skills in challenging times. Reality, it's the most challenging times in world history. I've been down this rabbit hole for 40 years, and if you have any level of emotional consciousness going on, you understand what's going on. The fights at the White House, and I mean, everything you see, I see it too. The billionaire technocrats who are taking over the world. I mean, I see it, I understand it, but what I focus on right now is free enterprise skills in challenging times. I have a woman who just referred me 3 clients. I mean, that's what I'm looking for. That's the solution. I was that woman's coach for 2 years, her husband's coach for 1 year, and her daughter's coach for 4 years. That's 7 years with one family. Amber, good to see you. So free enterprise skills. What's the number one skill that you require, whether you're dating, mating, selling, free enterprise? I mean, the number one skill that's so important to you is this, it's that you have clarity in your ability to articulate your feelings. That means that you can ask a question, answer a question without thinking. Now, if you had traumatic parents, you had a narcissistic parent, it's very common to go and then think. So you raise your left shoulder, and if I'm your coach, I will assist you to change that behavior. I will assist you to change that habit. And so this is why you use embedded commands with people. And so yes, I'm at Big Al speaking in DC. Yes, Michael. I shared the stage with Big Al many, many times. I'm actually friends with Tom Schreider. I have his phone number, lives in Houston, Texas. And I knew Kevin Trudeau back in the day. I mean, I've shared the stage with some of the most amazing men, and I'm from a little town like this, like Clarinda, Iowa. Look it up, Clarinda, Clarinda, Iowa, Maryville, Missouri. Between the two of them were 15,000 people. Like, that means there's 7,500 each town. That's where I grew up in. I went to a college, Northwest Missouri State University. Northwest Missouri State University, a university of about 6,000 in Maryville, Missouri. I mean, I have a degree in radio and television, BFD, big deal, so what? But my degree is in free enterprise. It's called the law of the streets. And I learned on the streets how to communicate, how to articulate, how to ask questions in a sequence. And if you become skilled at this, the questions begin to flow. Because what you're doing is you are interviewing people for your time. You're qualifying people for your time. So Michael, yes, I know Kevin Trudeau. He got our company shut down with Big Al. It was called, Trudeau was marketing a product called Shark Cartilage. You can look it up. You can find it. And you can find the videos from it back in the day. That was in 1992. So your ability to have a clarity, to have vision about the outcome you seek to create. The biggest deterrent to your success in free enterprise will be your doubt, your uncertainty, and the way you communicate it and the way you articulate it. As you have a better understanding of what doubt is. Doubt is a safe place to avoid your own success. Doubt keeps you safe and it keeps you procrastinating. Doubt keeps you safe, keeps you disappointed. As you're able to separate your feelings from the events. So separate my feelings from the events that shape them. That is a Louise Hay term, Hay. So Tamara, if you've never followed Louise Hay, Hay, she wrote the groundbreaking book in the 80s, You Can Heal Your Life. Tom Nash knows that I taught it to him. Yes, Tom was in the tax people back in the day. So I'm watching people's comments. So they're commenting on how they met me and where they saw me. Tom Nash hired me in 2000, and he's still my client, 2026. He's been through a lot with me. It's amazing. So memory is, when you have a memory, that means you're not in brain fog. It means the pineal gland, the ocular gland to God is open. And when you're open. So Louise Hay wrote the groundbreaking book, You Can Heal Your Life. And I've been using her quote and giving her credit for it for 38 years. No longer the mind-body connection to the events that shape the feelings. It means that I'm not a byproduct of my parents' divorce any longer. I'm not a byproduct of a father who didn't love me. I'm not a byproduct of a father or mother who traumatized me. I'm a black sheep operating in free enterprise. I don't fit in anywhere. I can navigate everywhere. And so when you live in that energy, you're able to separate your feelings from the events that shape them. It means you're at peace wherever you go. You can go anywhere in the world. You can be in a youth hostel. You can be in a 5-star hotel. And in your own humility, you won't complain about it. You'll be able to accept the situation for what it is. You'll be willing to let go. You'll be able to separate your feelings. You'll be able to make the best of the situation because you, as a black sheep, have learned to live in the solution, not the problem. If you're a whiner, a complainer, an embellisher, if you're sensitive and defensive, you will find the flaws. If you live in sobriety, recovery, and humility, you will find the best outcome. That's called the solution. And that is one of the best skills that you can begin to understand and master. And so if you've been in an IT business or you've had other careers and you're in a new business, do your best to let go of how much you struggle with it. Do your best to let go of the self-talk that keeps you recreating the same outcome. Do your best to leverage yourself to have your best outcome. And when you see other men and women that are doing what you're attempting to do, that's awesome because you can do it. If they do it, you can do it. It's not a degree of difficulty. It's a degree of struggle that you're willing to let go of. The more that you struggle, the longer you'll stay out there. The less you struggle, the more that you'll raise your vibration. As you separate your feelings from the events that shape them, you're no longer that mind-body connection. You're no longer in your head as much as you were. You're able to articulate your feelings from a higher level of consciousness. You're starting to develop the facts that I'm lovable, I'm good enough. I've been coaching 28 years, and I have thousands of success stories of people in the most challenging situations and circumstances who they didn't just overcome them, they became conscious. They became aware. Instead of overcoming them, they began to let go of them. They let go of the significance of the past and focused on the present. They let go of the trauma the body held on to, and they began to create a new vibration. They let go of the overwhelmed feelings that once overwhelmed them. They let go of the wife, the husband, the father, the mother, whatever the circumstances. As you begin to let go, what you're letting go of is the significance, because the significance you give to a situation determines whether you're in pain or in pleasure. And the more you can separate pain from pleasure and access higher consciousness, you will improve who and what you attract. Jeffery Combs, President and Founder, Golden Mastermind Seminars Incorporated. Tom, thank you for all the comments. And thank all of you for being here on this afternoon's call. Michael, good to see you. Good to see you. Amber, Dorothy, Tamara. Tamara's from Canada. And Danielle, thank you. Small audience today, but great content. Have a great afternoon. Breathe, release, and let go in a relaxed body.